Good morning. Tuesday morning, heading to Herzliya to Prove. Spending most of the day there, having lunch with an old friend, Adi Levanon. Besides that, at Prove, back-to-back meetings, a lot of work to do. Crazy awesome stuff going on with this company. Here we go. Made it to Herzliya after many hours in traffic. That is a little frustrating. In other news, when you park next to a car like that, my car kind of looks miniature. I cannot even imagine how much it costs to fill up gas in a Hummer in Israel. That's all. Heading to Prove. Since I'm already ranting about traffic, let me rant about something else. I was backing up my music this morning, my music library, which I have for the last 100 years, and I put it on Google Drive. And I wanted to make sure that the transfer went okay, so I went to see how big the folder is on Google Drive. You'd think a file management system like Google Drive would allow you to see the size of a folder. You'd think, right? You could see how big a file is. There is no way you can go verify this to see how big a folder is in Google Drive. How is that possible? Rant over. Okay, very productive morning at Prove. Now heading to Bistro 56 to meet Adi Levanon, who is a powerhouse. She's got a ton of experience in tech as VC and many other things, but just catching up. It's been a while, and I'm going to consider it a challenge to get her on camera. She specifically said that is not going to happen. Challenge accepted. Bistro 56. So I'm doing a happy dance. I'm doing a happy dance. No, I told you, challenge accepted. I was gonna get Addy on camera. You know what? I'll tell you why. This isn't even like you know, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna get you on camera. You're like, I'm not coming on camera. The reason I wanted to get this interview on camera is not because I wanted to win this battle. It's because I genuinely, as you know, I said it to you in the meeting. I've said it to you 100 times before. Think that you have a lot of knowledge and experience and bring like real. You know, I don't want to like belittle other people. Like, I don't want to say like you're the only, but like there's a lot of, how do I say this diplomatically? There's a lot of talkers. A lot of paka.
Right.
And there's doers.
Right.
I'm a little bit allergic to the talkers. I'm a talker myself, but at least I try to back up
doer.
Right. No, but I do talk a lot, but I try to back that up with actions, right?
Yep.
There are a lot of people out there who all they do is talk.
Right.
And so when I do on occasion meet people that, you know, are real doers and get stuff done, and that's the PG version of get beep done, you know, I would like to share those insights with the world. And so that's why I was very adamant and stubborn to get you on camera, and I'm happy I won that battle.
You know why you won, if I can say? Because I loved our conversation. We haven't sat with each other for so long time. I didn't want to do it, but the fact that we sat and your insights and just your input was like, you know what, like, I do trust you. You said, the best thing you said at the beginning of the interview, or lunch I should say, was do you trust me? And I said, yes, I trust me, so I trust you.
Okay, oh, I like that. Yeah. Okay, so let me just say one thing.
Go for it.
We've never actually said this, but I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think we share like so many philosophies on business and on marketing and on the ecosystem, and I think we have a lot of the same energies.
Yes, we do.
Do you feel that also?
Yeah.
Like literally, I remember the first time we met, was it at Natasha's place?
Natasha.
Like, Natasha, who I love, and you guys have met many times. Like, that was the best intro ever, but generally, like, we met that first time, we were hanging out, and I was like, she's awesome, we're gonna be good friends. And we have been good friends for a long time.
On her roof.
Even though you abandoned us, right, not on her roof, I remember you abandoned us and went to New York, but now you're back and you're staying and we're good. Okay, can we, enough
We're
with the mushy
doers.
stuff.
Yes, we're doers,
Okay.
go.
See, that's why I like, okay, so let's just back up a little bit. Give me kind of your 20-second background, VC, New York, Israel. Give me, who's Adi? What's your name?
Adi Levanon.
Okay.
Background in a nutshell. I grew up in the States. I grew up in Palo Alto. Moved to Israel when I was 12. Everything I've done kind of post-army has been, like Hillel said, either tech, either the VC side or in startups.
What were you doing in the Army?
I was a non-commissioned officer in foreign relations and liaison to peacekeeping forces.
Oh my God, that's a mouthful.
But
okay.
no, the short of it was just I was a foreign relations NCO and the technology and logistics branch in
That's awesome.
headquarters.
That's awesome. By the way, did I ever tell you that I love Palo Alto? Did we ever discuss this?
Nope.
I freaking love Palo Alto. I work with Flipboard. They're in Palo Alto. When I go there, it's like, you know, listen, I miss Israel and everything, but like the tranquility.
Yeah, it's
oh my God,
so chill.
amazing. One big wisteria lane. Anyway, okay.
That's very true.
Okay. So yeah.
I started off as a lawyer. I'm a recovering lawyer, you can say. I know, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Really?
What?
Yes, I'm a lawyer.
What kind of lawyer? What are you saying?
I mean, I did corporate law and VC law and high tech. Yeah.
How did I not know this?
I don't know.
That's bonkers.
So I started. That's how I got to Conduit. When I worked for Conduit, I was there for 3 years. I started off as legal counsel, and then I just realized that I kind of prefer human beings over contracts.
Did we ever discuss that we almost worked together at Conduit, and we never talked about that?
No. When you were at Interactive?
No. Way before.
before?
Like years before that.
I didn't know
One
that.
of their investors sent me to Ronen, and I sat with him, and he's like, anyway, I almost worked
I
there.
know which investor you're talking about too.
Yochai Levy.
Yeah, they're good folks.
Love Yochai. CMO of WeWork now, Yochai.
I've heard.
Holy
yeah.
cow.
Yeah.
Debbie's amazing people.
Amazing.
Can we focus, please?
Yes, please. This is us the whole lunch. Same thing.
Yes. Good lunch, right?
Good lunch.
Good burger.
Good burger.
Great portobello.
Great burger.
Mushrooms awesome. Yes. By the way, this is ADD. I realized I started taking ADD.
I know, we both together, it's bad.
Yes, go on.
Anyway, short story, I was legal counsel at Conduit, and then I moved on to manage the compliance team, so manage a team of 4, work with all the R&D teams, and at that time, we had the contracts with Google and Microsoft Bing, so I was very involved in all of that as well.
One, as we say in Hebrew, on one leg. Conduit at the time was building customized toolbars, which then wasn't a dirty word, but more importantly, they were generating boatloads of money. Like they were hyper successful to the point that when they, and you maybe can confirm this is what I heard from the market, that when they pulled the plug on Google and switched to Bing as their provider of search in the toolbar, Google came begging on all 4s.
I'm not going to say that, but yeah, I mean,
sounds cool, though, right?
It does. It's not far. It's pretty true. I mean, more or less. But yeah, we were Israel's first billion-dollar internet company. It was an amazing ride. I mean, it was probably the most difficult thing I did at the age of 25.
Wow.
To manage the team and work with all the C-suites there and like the VPs, but it was a great learning experience.
I'm loving the light here, by the way.
Oh, really? Good. I
love the light because the light from the house. It's great. Yes. Okay. After Conduit.
Sorry, worked for 2 funds in Israel. So as a student, this is not chronological order, but I worked for Carmel Ventures, which is now called Viola. So I worked there when I was a student.
I have to say something. I used to call it Viola, and then I didn't realize someone corrected. You know, it's actually
Viola.
It's Viola.
I know that.
I used to call them Viola, and they're like, it's not
No,
Viola.
it's Viola. Yeah.
Okay. No, you just said Viola.
Oh, sorry, but
You're fired.
I'm fired.
It's all over. That's it.
So it's Viola.
Okay, yes.
And then I worked after Conduit. I worked for Rhodium, so I was part of the investments team there.
I love Yaron, like a brother.
Yeah. Good.
Love
That
Yaron.
money.
I love Yaron. Like I love them all, right? But I love Yaron is like really like I can tell you stories off camera. Like he's such a mensch. He really is such a mensch. Okay, anyway, go on.
They all are.
Shut up, Hillel.
They're great.
Let Adi talk. Yes. Okay, go on.
And then I moved to New York. Wow, this went longer than 20 seconds. But anyways, New York, just a dream that I had. I worked there for 2 funds, non-related to Israel, but one was called FinTech Collective, focused, as the name would imply, on FinTech, early stage. And then I moved on to a fund called Symmetrical Ventures, which is, there's 2 partners. One of them was the former CFO of BlackRock, single LP fund. So we basically did also investments into companies early stage, but we also invested into funds. So I had the opportunity to kind of look at both sides of the coin.
I told you she's a powerhouse. I did tell you, but anyway, yeah, go on.
That's it. That brings us to today. I moved back
So
here.
let's talk about today.
Yes.
Gotta figure out how to frame this here because this is actually like I do a lot of interviews, a lot of cool people, but you're very unique in a whole bunch of ways. But mainly because listen, at the end of the day, given your experience, given your knowledge, given your strategic thinking, given everything that you bring to the table, it's not a lack of opportunity that you have. It's your decision of where to take everything that you bring to the table and bring it. You like no, I'm serious. Like I'm not just saying this. Like I really genuinely think that like any fund in Israel needs someone like you. They might not realize it yet, but they do.
Thank you.
By the way, in addition to that, I know that maybe you might be focused your energy on figuring out how you merge into the financial world here, but I actually think that I'm not saying you've X'd out startups. I think every startup would also be unbelievably lucky to have someone like you, but that's a topic for another time. Most importantly,
Yeah.
Right now, you just moved back. You're kind of getting to know the ecosystem again. You knew it before. You still know it, but you're trying to get your
it's
hands
all
dirty.
new. I have to tell you, everything here. I mean, it's the same and new in the sense that like there are a lot of the funds that were existing 3 years ago, but there's so many new ones. There's so much more money. Like I've actually enjoyed the past few months. Just like I've been taking my time after New York. I wanted to take some time just to figure things out here and really relax. And I've enjoyed the process of getting to know the ecosystem again.
It's awesome.
It's really, really developed.
What I think, let's focus on a fund. Okay,
Yep.
let's forget for one second the value you'd bring to a company, but a fund in Israel, and I'm walking on eggshells here. Got to be very careful and diplomatic, but
Right.
whatever fund it is, let's put aside for 1 second. Let's put aside for 1 second the massive American funds in Israel. Let's put them aside because that's a different animal. Although
Okay.
there, I think you could bring tremendous value as well. But putting that aside for 1 second, every other fund in this country every Israeli fund, some of them big funds, you would bring, let's just start with the fact that some of the names that you mentioned when we were sitting, the relationships that you have with like world-class VCs.
But I don't name drop. I was saying it with context.
No,
I just want to make sure.
Thank you for that clarification. That's important. She's not a name dropper.
I was saying it with context to helping specific startups that I can...
It's also not name dropping. These are relationships that you have, like real relationships, not BS. Like
people
that you have access to, like these funds in Israel would dream of having access to co-investing with these investors. Like that's a dream come true for them. That alone, like your relationships, your Rolodex. But put that aside because that's actually dwarfed in comparison, I'm serious, to your, in my opinion, the way you look at things. And what do I mean by that? And again, walking on eggshells here. Let's just say that Israel has somewhat of a reputation traditionally for selling too early, for not letting companies mature, for not playing the long game.
Yeah.
To play a long game, which is something I fundamentally believe in every aspect of my life, you need to be a strategic thinker.
Yeah.
You need to be able to see down the road what today leads to 6 months from now, 3 years from now.
Yep.
I think that's lacking in many VCs in this country. Real high-level strategic thinking.
Yeah.
You bring that.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying to you is, if you're a VC, I'm totally pitching you, and I plug in, and I love it. Because you deserve it. I think it's. I'm not. I wouldn't. You know, we talked about this before. You say I'm always so optimistic, but I only promote things that I love. I'm telling you, I think you would do phenomenal work in any fund in this country, and I think they would get tremendous value. So what I'm saying, like, if you're a fund in Israel, starting, a smaller fund, a bigger fund, a micro VC, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Fundamentally, humbly suggest that you contact Addy. Have a cup of coffee. This energy, the energy that you bring, like the energy, the strategic thinking, the connections, like it's a no-brainer.
I would say, thank you. And I'd say that a lot, I'm just happy.
You're for good. The check, you can send me the mail.
I honestly, I enjoy it. Like I really love helping, and it goes back to what we said before. I think that the value that I hope to bring is being able to just close the gap that exists. It does still exist between Israel and the U.S. and also Europe, and I don't know Asia and Europe as well, but I've had spoken to VCs there and companies, and I think that being able to close that gap is really important. And it's not just about the network. It's like network, but as you said, it's like thinking 10 steps ahead. Who should they connect? Like, how much money should you raise? You
know what else I'm going to say? I'm going to say two more things. Number one, I'm going to say, while you are, I would definitely put you in the category on a strategic side. Meaning, you're not gonna. I'm giving a very silly example right now, but you're not gonna join a fund to manage their social media channels. Like but I will say, and this is actually important and also unique. While you are a strategic thinker and a strategic doer, you can actually get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Like you're an amazing writer. You're a people's person. You have biz dev in your DNA. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
So I think you're
the same. That's what we do. Right. We just like to help people and connect and build.
Right. I think you come to to a fund, you bring like a complete package. That's the bottom line. So that's what I think. But the second thing I want to tell you is, when you do join, one of these top VCs as a managing partner,
or a company,
I just want to say one thing.
I can say okay.
Don't forget the little people.
Oh, stop. Yes, I will not.
That's all I'm saying.
I would say vice versa.
No, but listen to me, all right? When we hang out, which is not often enough, we have the greatest time. That's true. We have a great time.
We do.
And it's not okay that I feel like I'm watching your life through Instagram. Like, we got to do face-to-face more often. So this was an awesome meeting. This is 11.5-minute interview. Not okay. Bad for ADD. But I'll just say one thing. If you're a fund or a company, and by the way,
I'll tell you why I said company. I know maybe it's long, but I'll explain why. Because essentially what I've learned is you can bring value in so many ways. If it's in a fund, it's fantastic, and obviously that's what I love.
Right.
But being able to just work with Israeli companies and helping them expand and grow in whatever shape or form that is makes me happy, and that gets me up in the morning.
But I have to say one thing about that. That's a pitch that I hear a lot, and many of the people that pitch that and say, "Oh, we can help you," are paka.
Right.
You're going to deliver on that. And I'm going to say one more thing on your behalf.
Thank you.
I don't know if you're going to correct me on this. Okay. You might not agree with what I'm about to say, in which case I'll just edit it out.
Sure.
But I think this is true. You actually, because you're getting into the ecosystem, you actually want to meet amazing entrepreneurs, help, but also learn.
That's what I've been doing, yeah.
You're not necessarily looking to sign a contract tomorrow for full time. You actually want to work with amazing people. If you're an amazing person, have coffee with Addy. That's the pitch.
Good people.
That's it. Good people. All right, let's do lunch again soon, okay? Awesome.
High five. Or low five.
Yeah, low five. All right, leaving. And I can't come to Prove offices without stopping off at one of the most beautiful spots, I think, in the country. Back to Addy for 1 second. Again, I never know if this stuff comes off on an interview, but could you tell how awesome she was, or is? Honestly, one of the cooler people that I know. I gotta get her into an amazing fund in this country. Somebody who understands real strategic thinking is gonna get very, very lucky to be working with her. And that's all I'm saying. Now heading back to Beit Shemesh for some back-to-back meetings in the hood. Beit Shemesh is in a hood. Made it home. Today was a pretty relaxed day. Most of it was spent at Prove working. Tomorrow is going to be outrageously busy, but a very exciting day tomorrow. See you then.